You're adapted.
My name is Matthew, and I shoot an old Fuji with old lenses, and these are their stories. This is the SMC Pentax-m 28mm f2. It was made in 1980 and cost me around $200, not including the adapter. This is the same lens on my Fuji xt2, and here are the important technical specs. After shooting RAW on Sony's for 2 years, I sold everything and switched to Fuji. I wanted a camera that made JPEGs that I liked instead of settled for, and I gotta say I found that with my old Fuji xt2. Switching to another system had its headaches, but the worst part was definitely restocking with lenses that I trust, which was gonna take some time and a shitload of money. And if I wanted the best native lenses, it was gonna cost a lot more. But when it came down to it, I needed lenses quickly, which meant the Fuji lenses were not happening anytime soon. I watched smarter people talk about vintage lenses and the pros and cons of using them and how much money you can save. And after hours of looking for and comparing lenses online, I decided to give it a shot. After 2 years of photography, I noticed that I tended to autofocus and then recompose. I figured I could probably do that manually, and I did, poorly. But after a little practice, I'm not even sure I ever really needed it. So now, with so many manual vintage lenses to choose from, how was I supposed to pick one, let alone many to test? Some of these lenses are dirt cheap and others cost more than the camera. Some are sold as is, with imperfections, some with fungus, some with scratches. Most are under 30 bucks and still take great photos. So I picked a focal length and went shopping on eBay a lot. Since I'm using a crop sensor camera, I started with 28mm. It's like a tight 35 and there was a lot to choose from. I also wanted to be able to photograph moving people in darker situations, and after some trial and error, I found out that f2 is the slowest I could handle. I was able to keep the ISO below 4000 with the shutter at 250. For the indoor and night shots, I used the Cinestill 800 recipe from Fuji X Weekly. For the daytime shots, I used the standard Provia film simulation. And finally, I wanted to see how the lenses look wide open at the closest focus distance. I figured it's the best way for me to show what the autofocus areas look like. So that's how I test lenses. No charts, no specs, just how it felt to use and what kind of photos I was getting. I'm not an expert, but it works for me. So after all this, I'd like this lens. I've tried quite a few lenses prepping for these videos, and one of the main differences between lenses was how easy it was for me to get focus right. Some take me longer than others. I'm sure there's a reason, but I don't need to know why. So for focus, I give it a... It's really light and is average size with the adapter in comparison to the camera body. So for size, I give it a... Now for the price. There are tons of really good f2.8 lenses, and they are all under $50, but from what I've seen, all the good f2 lenses are pricey, between $100 to Leica. This lens being more than $200 is a little pricey, but when you nail it, the photos look great. For price, I give it a... Overall, this is a great lens that can make great photos, but if price is a factor, the f2.8 version gets a lot of praise and may work for you too. Well, that's it for the SMC Pentax-m 28mm f2. See you on the next episode of You're Adapted. Thanks for watching.